Hi guys, and welcome to our brand new channel, Millennial vs Boomer. If you don't know me, my name's Connor and I am just a guy who's sitting in his room trying to find different ways to make money online. The other old guy on the show's name is Kieran Kenny and he's my dad. And even though he's over 400 years old, somehow he still understands quite a lot about these weird computer thingies we have on our desks and in our pockets. And he's even started his own company to do with IT and information security. And for some reason, we're going to be discussing today Safemoon, ElonGate, and the whole cryptocurrency market. So if that sort of thing interests you, consider smashing that subscribe button, hit that like button because this is our first ever video. And with all of that said, we are not financial advisors, so please only take this video solely as entertainment. We are sharing our opinions, and those opinions sometimes differ, but they are definitely not financial advice. Okay, with all of that said, let's jump straight to this video.
Let's start with Safemoon. If you don't know, Safemoon is kind of the pioneer of this new deflationary world of crypto. What happened was it started with Doge Finance, which is a play on Dogecoin, which is a meme of, I don't know, it's a cryptocurrency of a meme. And then they did really well. So someone came out and made Doge Finance, which was a meme of a meme coin, but with a purpose. That's the idea. So instead of just being a meme, they're going to be a meme, but with a purpose. So they've got a platform and they're deflationary in the sense that coins get burned as transactions happen. So it kind of fights the whole idea of the dollar. And then that kind of sort of boomed in a sense. And then Safemoon came along and just completely, Doge Finance was doing really well. I think right now they're sitting at about 40,000 holders. So people who are holding the coin on the network. And then Safemoon came along and they are sitting at let's just check right now, something like 300,000 holders. Okay. And that is in, I'm going to say 3 weeks from the day. I'm probably a little bit off there, but 309,000 holders.
Yeah.
From the day of releasing it. And Doge Finance is sitting at around 40,000. So Safemoon have completely destroyed them. And then simply the idea between Safemoon is, I think they just got a hold of the audience, right? They captivated them a little bit more with their tokenomics, because their tokenomics are 10% every time there's a transaction on the network. You got a 10% tax, and 5% of that is just burnt. There's more to it, but 5% is just taken out of existence, and then 5% is distributed to everyone who's holding the coin on the network.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is like, you know, when you see your coins going up for free, that's like and I think go on.
There's also, just following this stuff on your videos and also in general terms, presumably it's not coincidental that there was a great deal of talk about Earth 2.
Yeah.
And then suddenly we're talking about the moon. Yeah. And then we're talking about Mars.
Yeah.
But they're not the same concept, right?
So you got your Doge Finance. Earth 2 is just completely separate. That was
although the kind of mean value of it.
Yeah.
I think.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
The sense of it, like as you know, I don't have any investment in the hype end of.
Yeah, totally. Well, you're a boomer, you wouldn't understand.
But it's funny now, isn't it? Like we talk. Okay, so I've got something in Bitcoin. Some Ethereum, which now feel like gold or dollars. Compared to crazy stuff that's going on. Yeah. Whereas remember, Bitcoin was crazy stuff that's going on, but now that feels.
It's like once you're down the rabbit hole, right? So if you're Alice who's sitting before the rabbit hole, Bitcoin is just as crazy as anything else. Like Bitcoin might as well be Safemoon. They're all the same crap. They all don't have any value. You can't wear them on your wrist, so why would I pay any money for it, right?
Although I think, like, you made a very good point in one of your early videos. It was in connection with something else, but you just made the point in passing that Bitcoin, there's a cost to produce a Bitcoin. It does bear some resemblance to actually mining gold. You have to make an investment in order to produce it. Whereas that concept seems to have been abandoned now in some of the wackier stuff that's going on.
Completely abandoned. So if you go back to Safemoon, it's from what I understand, the coins exist and then they get burned. So they're already there. There's no mining involved. You don't accumulate by mining. I guess the only sense of mining is a transaction happening, and then that, instead of creating coins, it destroys coins, which is an interesting concept. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Safemoon, the idea of it is, like, I don't really know how to put it. It's just it's just Safemoon. I don't see a utility more than people holding it. I could see it as an investment, but there isn't any utility behind it. You're not going to go, right, I'm going to use my Safemoon tokens to buy something. I can't see that happening. Could be wrong, but that's not how I see it.
Yeah. So it genuinely is a speculative bubble.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. But, no argument.
And of course, people make money in a speculative bubble. But the art would seem to be, when do I get off?
Yeah, understand. I think it's that point of greed, and it's what I say in all the videos is, you just, like, it seems amazing. And there's no bashing what they're doing. Like there's a proper team behind Safemoon. They've come out, they've shown themselves, But yeah, it's greed is going to get the best of a lot of people who are involved in it, because like the story I told you, I put 5,000 into Bitcoin in the start of 2017. I turned it into $75,000, and then I didn't even take out the initial investment. And then when we got to the end of the bear market, which was, like the start of 2020, I guess, was really the end. That flash crash in March was the bottom of it. And at that point, I would be so much more better off just having sold my initial investment. So it's like, it's when people are completely new to the world, they don't realize that, as memeable as it is, stocks don't only go up, they definitely come down.
Yeah, and that concept of taking out your initial investment is I think it's in a market like this where the rises are so crazy.
Yeah. Like we're 20x. We're sitting at 20, and that's only where I got in. That's only when I first found the coin. They started at lower than that.
Yeah. So just a point you made there, just in passing about Safemoon, you said, so like, these are proper people. These guys are out in the open.
Yeah.
Just expand on that a little bit. Like, what do you mean by that? That like, in some sense, who the people are.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, they're just a few faces on their website and their links to their LinkedIn.
Yeah. Like, why should we find that reassuring? If, like, given the world of social media and fakes and so on.
No, totally. I get you. Let's just check. I'm just gonna check them out. So the main John here, he has. How long has he been on? He's got 500 plus connections on LinkedIn.
Yeah, okay.
I've actually got a mutual connection with him. One.
Yeah, right. Okay. Does the mutual connection exist? Is it somebody you know? just one of those?
No, I don't know him. United States Department of Defense. January 2015 to January 2021, 6 years and 1 month.
Yeah, okay. just like that in itself makes me a bit kind of suspicious. not in the sense of it being a conspiracy or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just it's a huge level of credibility to claim.
Yeah.
What age does he appear to be? As obviously I judge everybody.
Of course.
Okay, that guy's under 60. I'm not going to take it.
How do I see? I'm not.
I don't know if you can tell, but you can kind of see, like.
I wouldn't have thought he's much older than me.
Yeah. Okay.
So around the 30.
Yeah, and he's got 6 years in the Department of Defense under his belt.
Yeah, honestly, in saying that, he's probably younger than me. Let's be honest, everyone is at this point, apart from you.
Yeah. Yeah, that tends to build up. But so, like, I'm only thinking in terms of, like, if I was reading somebody's CV,
yeah,
and let's say they're 28, and they've got 6 years in the Department of Defense, I'd sort of be looking at that and thinking, okay, and presumably in order to get that job, they went to university.
Yeah.
So basically, they've had one job, and it's in credibility terms, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
So what is basically, is it true or not? It's
I mean, I guess we just go on what it says, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not. There's no reason to. Well, no, there's every reason to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's sitting at a $600 million market cap after being in existence for 2 weeks. So there's every reason to question. Do you know how does LinkedIn work? Because obviously my generation is less invested in LinkedIn. How do you, like, in order for me to say, let's say I work for your company, if I just say that, do you have to endorse it, or can I just link to your website and then if you notice?
You can just say it.
Okay.
But you can, if you link, then somebody has to.
Okay, I think he's directly linked. But with that said, if there's anyone from Safemoon watching, do reach out to me and we can fully discuss. We're not trying to discredit anyone here. We're just simply, picking at the bits.
Yeah, quite. Just like if I was, as a very careful boomer, but I'm not that. That's how I was. And you were saying to me, "Hey, Dad, if you put $1,000 in here, it looks, there's risk involved, but it looks like you'd make a decent return."
Yeah.
Then obviously, what anybody would do is, okay, let me check it out.
Yeah. Take a look.
That's all I'm saying, really. It's a different world, obviously. As I think you always emphasize in the video, don't put money here that you can't afford to lose.
I think it's just it needs to be understood at this stage. Like, I'm not saying, when I say that in the videos, I'm not saying in any way that Safemoon might one day become a completely huge business that makes people loads of money. It has hundreds of employees. Like, who knows what's going to happen? But at this stage, it's just begun, So you can't be thinking that this is an investment in the same way as investing in the S&P 500. And everything has its level of risk. It's not a safe investment investing in the S&P 500, but you have so much more risk in these companies, even if you wholeheartedly believe. So you need to, one, just as always, never invest money that you need. And then two, understand that even if Safemoon gets to, we're at $600 million market cap. So even if it gets to $1 billion, $2 billion, $10 billion, that doesn't give Safemoon automatic credibility to last, right? It could still crash They could use all of that money, make massive improvements for years, and then one day the cryptocurrency, and the end of this bull run could be in 6 months, and that's still going to affect Safemoon no matter how legitimate they are. So that's like, get your investment, your initial investment out, because we're all going to feel it when that happens.
Yeah. And I mean, it differs hugely as well from investing in something like the S&P, because you're, as I say it, you're investing in the investment. You're not investing in the project. And if you think of S&P or any kind of conventional investment, you're considering, okay, what is the project? Are they making any money, or have they a prospect to make money? And do I invest in it? But I invest in the project. Whereas with the hype coin type of investment, the proposition seems to be, here is the investment. If you give me $1 or €1 or whatever it is, I'll give you 1,000,000 of these. Let's just see what happens.
I mean, it's like investing in anything that's not, when you're investing in the product, when you invest in any crypto, like, you're not directly investing in the business behind the product. Like, you're not getting a share in Safemoon, you're getting the product, like a Pokemon card, you're getting the thing.
Precisely.
Which can go up. It can make people a lot of money, but if you buy 10 Pokemon cards and they all go up 100%, you should sell a couple of them.
Exactly. And does Safemoon have a stated mission as an organization?
If we check their white paper,
the whole 4 pages of
the long white. I don't think it's even 4 pages. Honestly, it's probably one A4 piece of paper. I think honestly, the value proposition of Safemoon is, you hold our coin and we'll reward you with more coin. That's it's as far as it goes. I mean, I'm not like, it's different to Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, we basically all get to be miners just by holding it. It's like staking, but that does seem to be the only thing that Safemoon has. But I'm pretty I'm going to keep holding a bit of my Safemoon, because I'm just going to keep, like, at this point I have none of my own money in Safemoon. It doesn't even make any, like, if it crashed 99% today, it would make zero difference to me, because it's all the house's money, right? And then, as long as Safemoon lasts 10 years, let's say 5 years, 1 year, whatever it is, at the end of that time, I'm going to be rewarded more Safemoon just by having it. So it's like, that's the value proposition.
I can see that. So on that point about taking your initial investment out, with something like Safemoon, I mean, how do you do that? How do you cash out?
No, that's a good thing, because a lot of people actually ask. So there's one thing to keep in mind when you take your investment out of any of these new hype coins, and it's that 10% charge, right? Because when you sell, you automatically lose 10%. When you buy, you automatically lose 10%. So you need to, like, it's like basically you're rewarded for being in the realm, and then you're discouraged on selling. But by selling, you profit to everyone else, right? But because it's when you sell, that 10% is then given to the rest of the holders, right? So by me taking profits, I'm benefiting everyone on the network.
Okay.
But go on.
So even taking it, so let's say you put 1,000 in the first place. I don't know what you put in, but let's say you did. And then you took that full amount back out, or that amount less 10%?
So for me personally, when I took my initial investment, my plan was to wait for 2x, right? So 100% move, I take out the initial investment, I got the rest to ride. And what happened was, it went 200%, and then I went, all right, cool, I'm going to take my money out. And then within a few hours, it was at 500%.
Wow.
So I took the initial investment out. So what happened, for example, I put in 1,000. I actually put in much less, but I put in the $1,000. It converted it. So you put it in, just to break it down, you put the $1,000 into BNB. So that's Binance's coin. It's their utility token, right? And it's very interesting because it's essentially similar to Ethereum. It does the same thing. It's a platform where these new hype coins sit on. And the reason why the new hype coins have chosen the Binance chain instead of, for example, Ethereum is because the Binance chain is so cheap. Like, it's actually like I was so surprised. Like, I was talking to one of my friends and he actually sent me, because he didn't have the setup, so he sent me some of his BNB in order for me to buy some. And he probably sent me, I think it was maybe $500, and the cost of that was less than $1, and it happened essentially instantly. Like, within, he's in America, I'm in Dubai, and it happened instant. Like, for all intensive purposes, it was instant, and compare that to Ethereum, you're going to be paying, $50, or compare that to Bitcoin, you're going to be waiting 5 years until it arrives in your account, depending on how much you're willing to pay for it to happen. Yeah. So, I mean, that's the great thing about these all being built on the Binance Smart Chain, is because the transactions are so cheap. So anyway, go on.
Oh, sorry, you cash it back there.
So you take your $1,000, whether or not it's in Bitcoin or it's in USD, whatever. You buy yourself some Binance coin. You then transfer that into a new wallet. You got the Trust wallet, you got like a MetaMask online, because these coins are like, Safemoon is now on an exchange, but for this example, we'll pretend it's not. But at this stage, before they get listed, you have to directly swap them. There's no exchange service. So that happens on an exchange. It's still an exchange that sits on the Binance Smart Chain, but instead of there being like bids and asks, you just swap it. It's whatever. Yeah. The more money that goes into it, the higher it goes up. The more money that comes out, the lower it goes. It's really just as simple as that. So you get it, you transfer it in, you wait, let's say, Safemoon, 1 day, you see 500, what is it, 5x or 500%. You then take the amount of BNB that is equal to $1,000 out.
Yeah,
so you sell that into BNB, and then at that point, you either transfer that back to Binance, or you can boot Binance into your bank account in fiat, or you put it. What I've done is I took that very initial investment out, Binance gone, forget about it, and then let the rest ride. Took a little bit more out using the same process, and then chucked that more into different coins. Now, one thing that's interesting about Safemoon that I couldn't have predicted is that we actually saw a 20x from the initial investment, right? And I was taking out on the way up. So this time around, I would have been better off holding, right? There's no argument. I would have probably made twice as much money if I had have just held. But the idea behind, because I always say stick to your game plan, right? And that's my game plan. So by always holding, in my mind, you're going to get burnt eventually, right? So I was wrong about Safemoon. I should have held it, right? That would have been the right thing to do. But in doing that, if I had have held onto Safemoon, then let's say, Safemoon plus 259 comes out, right? And then I buy into that and I just hold it, but it crashes all the way down. Then I'm in that mindset, right? I want to stay in the mindset of only when it comes to hype coins. This is completely different to my normal plan, right? But only when it comes to hype coins, I get in, I get out, and I'm safe. We can let the profits ride, but my net worth, let's say, is safe.
Yeah. No, I like that thinking. That makes a lot of sense, and also makes it a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're watching house money go crazy, you can do that without quite the same depth of emotional involvement.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't. I'm not like, oh, that's like my rent or whatever that I'm losing there, or I could have bought that amount. I do think the most important thing, just completely disregard this when it comes to real investing. You know, we're talking stocks and shares and, you know, crypto that's been around for years. But
solid crypto,
yeah. But this is like, you know, it's so much fun. That's the whole point, right? So we let that money ride, and whether or not it goes down and up, it's, you know, you get the emotion pulled out of it by taking that money. And then, you know, you'll probably see more gains. You know, on that point, you got that hindsight bias, right? In my head, I'm like, if I had to put 10 grand into Safemoon at the start, which I could have easily, but and then in my head, I believe, okay, I would have put 10 grand into it. Today, I'm sitting on 200 grand. Awesome. I should have done that. But in actuality, if I had have risked my own 10 grand, there's no way I wouldn't have sold it when it doubled.
Yeah,
you know, no way. But everyone thinks, you know, they always think, including myself, I should have done that because I would have done this. But no way.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have. Like the same with the Bitcoin, you know, the videos on Bitcoin. You're like, if you had have bought just 20 cents of Bitcoin back in 1989 before it was made, you'd be a millionaire today. No way would you have held it through that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's just quickly chat. So, in my mind, I found Safemoon amazing. I love the fact that the whole transaction, the 10% tax, was a new idea. You know, that Hoj sort of pioneered it, that other coin I was telling you about, and then Safemoon really brought it to the masses, right? And then go on.
The importance of the 10% tax is the deflationary effect.
Yeah, so it's both deflationary, the circulating supply goes down, and you get rewarded for being someone who believes in the project, let's say, by holding it.
Yeah, okay.
So that's like, so it's really the perfect sort of circle, right? You get rewarded for holding it, and you do get penalized for selling it. So you might as well hold it for as long as you can. That's the general feel of it.
I can see the logic.
Yeah. So after the Safemoon, maybe like a week in, we started seeing Safe Mars, Safe Galaxy, Safe Star. Now we're seeing safe versions of the Safe. Like, it's just the most bizarre concept I've ever come across. So they're all forks of Safemoon, right? So it's the same code, it's the same thing. They just take the name, they take the blockchain. It's obviously way more in depth than that, and then they just plump it here, copy and paste, and then change the name, right? So my open question is, why on earth would you call it Safe Star or Safe Mars? Like, because these projects, from my understanding, you know, like I'm recording the screen at the same time, right? So let's just we'll get Safe Galaxy's website up. I know you can't see it, but do we have it here? Yeah, Safe. Is it this one? Yeah, so like on the website, for all intensive purposes, they are trying to be legitimate. Some of these will be rug pulls. You know, there'll be people who copied and pasted the code, they pretended to be good, and then they ran away with people's money. That's going to happen. That's what people need to be prepared for. But they do seem to be trying to achieve their own thing in their own right. So I just don't understand the concept of, you know, let's say we wanted to start our own Safemoon project, yeah? Why would you not just call it something different? why Safe Galaxy or Safe Star just call it something different?
Well, I mean, this is the very definition of hype, isn't it? I mean, where I'm coming from, without you know, really getting this, the trajectory seemed to me, just, you know, watching your videos and seeing other stuff going on. We had Earth 2, and then we had people saying, that could be a bit dodgy. Yeah. So somebody said, okay, why don't we do another planet but say that it's safe? So, okay, the moon. Let's do that. And then, okay, that worked.
Yeah.
let's do Mars.
Yeah. I think that's quite literally what happened.
Yeah, and if we start going out a bit beyond Mars, people aren't that sure about the names of the planets. So let's go galaxy or universe. No one said save Earth.
It's been done. It's been done.
Oh, God.
Yeah, let me just get that up. Yeah, Safe Earth is a real project that is happening. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, go on.
It's just like Earth 2, only it's safe. See, I've written a white paper for someone. It's just like Earth 2, but it doesn't do any of the stuff you can do on Earth 2, but it is safe. So the thing, just like in this conversation, the thing that the understanding I'm getting here, the actual fundamental blockchain technology, which is where all this comes from, is outside of these projects.
Yeah.
So run like the Binance payment system for a start.
Yeah.
Now, then you said it's probably much more complicated than just copying and pasting. I wonder, is it even more complicated than that? Because if you think, so what do I need to do? Like, I hook into a payment system.
Yeah.
So is it BNB? Is that what the Binance payment system is called?
Yeah, well, it's not so much a payment system as it is a swapping for
a swapping system.
So you copy and paste, and then you for example like everything is sitting on the Binance chain, right? And then you copy this blockchain that sits on the Binance chain, and then you paste it back onto the Binance chain. So there's still like the currency is still linked with it's that's the pair. It's linked at this stage. It's linked with Binance.
But I'm just wondering, is that a technical process or a business process?
Mm.
You say to Binance, I want to offer some, let's call them tokens.
Yeah.
I want to offer some tokens for sale via your blockchain.
Yeah.
We do a deal on that.
I don't even honestly. I don't understand it myself, but I'm not even sure that they need permission.
Okay.
I don't even know if they can just build it. I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
well, in that case, because there's nothing in. So the mining process, the fundamental process of crypto, is not part of this.
Yeah. No, it's not at all.
So it exists outside of that.
Yeah.
So on that basis, you take an open source database like MySQL or something like that.
Yeah.
You populate it with whatever you want, 10 billion, whatever your initial issue of coin is.
Yeah, 1 quadrillion.
Okay, one quadrillion strings.
Yeah.
Randomly produced strings. That's not a demanding thing.
Yeah. And then, I mean, on the Safemoon side of things, you just put the code in that does the 10%. Every time there's a transaction, this automatically happens. Yeah. But I guess, really, in this sense, the only people who had any form of hard task was Safemoon, who, let's say, pioneered it. I don't even know where they might have got the code from Hoj Finance. I'm not even sure where it came from. But everyone else with the other safe tokens, they would have just copied and pasted it. And I think it might just be as easy as that.
But I mean, there's nothing even terribly demanding technically to come up with the concept of the 10% transaction tax. That required some brain power, but to implement it technically,
totally.
I mean, you've worked with databases. There's not a huge amount involved in achieving that.
Yeah, no.
And then you put a price on each token.
Yeah.
Defined in BNB.
Yeah. Well, it's based on BNB, and then whatever its value in BNB then transferred over to. It's like a 3-step process.
Yeah, and you're away. You're up and running.
Yeah. With the speed in mind. Do I have ElonGate open? Oh, I do.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. So with that speed in mind, so. If you've seen my videos, Elon Musk did a tweet, if there's ever a scandal about me, please call it ElonGate, right? And then within I'm going to say 2 hours, this was born.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that's how long it takes. There's the answer as to how long it takes. And it is the same. The protocol is exactly the same. You got 10% fee, 5% of that fee is rewarded to the holders, and then 5% is sent to, it's called a liquidity pool, right?
Yeah.
And then of that second 5% that's in the liquidity pool, some is burnt, some is used for the business, let's say marketing and pay, whatever it is, and then I can't remember exactly how much it is used for the charity. So that's
their USP is the charity.
So that's why Safemoon and ElonGate at the moment are my favorite, because Safemoon's the pioneer, and then ElonGate is the copy and paste. And they had some problem with their management. I'm not sure. I'm going to speak to someone. I'm going to have a direct interview of someone, so I'll definitely find out what happened. But at first, I think the plan was to be a meme, right? We're going to be a meme. We're going to make it seems we're going to make a bunch of money, and then we're just going to maybe pull the rug. That's kind of what it seems like with the way things are worded at this point. Is there was basically like an internal struggle, right? Because you noticed that there was a what was it, like the name of the developer that isn't mentioned.
Early on in the white paper, they said that everything is vetted and approved by the lead developer. And then further on in the white paper, they outlined their leadership team, and there isn't a person called lead developer.
So I think that's completely just my guess, is that there was some sort of internal struggle, and the people who have taken charge now seem to genuinely want to do something here, and that's the value proposition, right? Now they're based on a meme that is the perfect sort of meme in the crypto sphere, because it's attached to Puppet Elon, right? He's the guy. And then the value proposition is 2 things. One, you get the same as you get with Safemoon. You get rewarded for holding. You get a slap on the wrist for selling. But hey, you sell and you benefit everyone. And then the second thing is we are donating to charity. And then up until 5 days ago now, I mean, we're donating to charity, give us loads of money. But then they actually did it, So that's they actually donated 75 grand, and obviously it's money out of the pool, right? There's money that they've made from this, but they did actually do it. And 75 grand for a project that's 2 weeks old is no small amount of money,
Absolutely. No, it's not. It's not. And it's nice. It's a worthy thing to do to divert some of these ludicrous kind of profits.
I think it's
something good.
Yeah, and I think that alone is good for the view of them, like in the short term, definitely. And they say in the white paper that they'll be donating every 2 weeks. So it's definitely something that they plan to keep doing.
Yeah. So a couple of questions about that one. On a side issue though, is it Elon or Elon? Because when I read his tweet, I read it as ElonGate in stretch.
Like bullying, right? I think the idea behind it is there's an American scandal, right? Something gate.
Yeah, Watergate. and then they always use gate.
Yeah,
like
yeah. So I think that's where he's going. ElonGate, right? It's not ElonGate. It's ElonGate. So Elon scandal. I think that's the that's the general idea behind it. But on that note, I can't see, because this is a good thing, right? It's not a scandal. So like, it doesn't.
They just jumped on it. Like, he's not involved.
No, not at all. But I guess the idea, and obviously the idea is speculation. But one day, let's say ElonGate donates a significant amount of money. Because right now, where would I find it? Let's check here. What are they worth at this point? What's the actual project? Oh. Is it here? Oh no, I have to find it. The project is worth, a couple of million for sure. I'm not quite sure exactly what the market cap is, but if they turned around and donated, let's say $1 million at some point, and I'm hoping that's the plan, right? That would be amazing, to like children in need or whatever it is. And then Elon goes, good job.
Yeah.
That's it. Good job, ElonGate. And that's all it would take for this project to literally, however much, 100x, it could. That's what it would take, and that's really the idea behind it. So you've got three factors at play. You've got the cool new guy on the block with the tokenomics, right? The 10% fee and charge. Then you've got the fact that Elon Musk or really anyone in the space could tweet about it, right? Yeah. And then you've got the meme. What's the third one? I've just completely lost my thought.
You've got the charity, you've got the name.
The charity. That's the tokenomics. The charity. Elon himself, which he has no say in this, and also I think it would be a grey area as to whether or not he could actually mention it. Who knows the rules around it? Who knows if they can get away with actually being called ElonGate? Would Elon have a problem with that? I'm sure there'll be a lot of problems down the road. But that's the value proposition of this coin. And at the stage that it's at right now, it's not cheap, but in the market it's in, with what they're proposing, it's cheap in my eyes. So
yeah. So I mean, again, like I know in this conversation, I've come over as kind of a bit negative and very suspicious of everything in this new modern internet thing.
I think that's good. Because we kind of sit in this bubble of like, nothing can go wrong. We're going to make loads of money.
Well, I didn't read the white paper other than following through on your video when you stepped through it. And I mean, to be honest with you, my head was fairly spinning with questions as there's not enough kind of information coming across there. That little thing I mentioned of the early on in the paper, the emphasis on the lead developer, and then without naming the lead developer, and then not showing a lead developer.
I think that's probably one of the main things that we need to find out is what really happened, because something happened.
Yeah, but not just that. You see, I would say that to me kind of, again, gives a bit of a feel, like if I was reading somebody's CV, I don't see something inconsistent on the CV.
Yeah, like they're hiding something, right?
Well, it makes you feel, okay, hold on a second, if that contradicts that, or that doesn't back up that, does it indicate that what I'm looking at here is maybe a cut and paste job from an earlier document that didn't get properly proved? And if so, what does that say?
Exactly. That I don't know if you've seen in my videos, but just going on, the idea of what does one thing say about the other It's the, I always look at the time it would have taken to design something, right? And I get a lot of comments being like, you don't think a project could go far because they've got a crappy logo? And I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. But if a project, one, rushes that sort of thing, then yes, what else are they going to be rushing, And then two, at this stage, all of these guys have millions of dollars, right? They have millions.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they should be selling their tokens to pay for it, but a good website is going to cost you, from a proper designer, maybe 10 grand. So you could get a good website from a team in a day or two, right? That looks proper nice, like everything's legit. Get that logo looking nice. So in the same regard that you're saying with that disparity, that's a disparity that I see. I'm like, why wouldn't you have done that already?
I see your point.
Why are you not investing more in the way you look? Because
it's like turning up for an interview in the wrong clothes. So,
exactly. But then again, you got the same thing about what was his name from Facebook, Zuckerberg, right? Turning up in a robe. So most of the people investing in this are, what's the next one? Gen Z, right? So they're probably like, oh, shut up, Connor. Like, website design doesn't matter. We do it all on our phones. Why would it matter what the website looks like? I never even looked at the website.
Just websites.
What is a website?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I suppose we answered a lot of the questions that were in my mind. We've answered in this conversation. Like, in what sense is this a coin or a token? Like, how is it mine? If I hand over some money for this thing, how does it become mine? How do I own it? But I think we've covered a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I suppose the questions I'd be left with is, who are these guys?
Yeah.
In reality, again, given this mysterious world of the internet.
Where do they sit? Do they sit in the real world, or are they AI?
Yeah. And you've even got digital photography these days.
The website isn't really a picture of the galaxy.
And then again, if we come down to the fundamental proposition, so it doesn't really differ from Safemoon, other than in the respect that a proportion of the wealth that's generated, or the surplus value that's generated, will be given to charity. And then the question comes into your mind, so, okay, really? Are you saying to me, if I give you some money for nothing, you'll give some of it to charity? Is that the proposition?
Yeah.
And so if I give you $1, you'll give 20 cents of that to charity. Or I could just give the 20 cents to charity and not give you
all the dollars.
The whole dollar.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. That's exactly it. But the way human psychology works is they're getting something out of it, right? So you can feel good, like as terrible as it sounds, you can feel better about investing into a project that makes you money and has a good thing, right? Not many people. There aren't many people who just donate for the sake of donating. Like, they want something out of it.
You're absolutely right, and it's nice to participate in something where you know that will happen, but you don't actually have to take the steps to do it.
And you can get the donation done while benefiting yourself, which does sound horrible, but that's just how we're wired.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
And why not invest in something that makes you money, but also donates? Because at the end of the day, maybe I give $5 here and there to charities that pester me on the street. But apart from that, if I can, if ElonGate does something with the money, it's great.
Yeah, indeed. So I mean, what we've arrived at, I think, that just the two that we've talked about, Safemoon and ElonGate or ElonGate. I still can't quite get my head as to which it is.
The coin that doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't even exist. It's just got a name. Deal with it. And there's 100 billion trillion coins, all right? So just leave it.
There's money to be made by getting in at the right point on the curve and getting out at the right point on the curve.
Exactly.
There isn't money to be made via a product or via a project. It's the hype itself.
Totally. I think the best way I can see ElonGate going is loads of us make loads of money, including the people who made it, and they donate loads of, like, we make loads of money, the company makes loads of money, and they donate loads of money. And in that way, we can, I don't know what their overall arching plan is. That's something that will, like, what's your long-term vision, right? But if we can do all of this during the bull cycle, right, in the next 1 month to a year, let's say, if that can be achieved, I think from my perspective, that's a tick, you know, that's a job well done. There will be people that get in too late and get burnt, which is
well, you see, Connor, if on what we've described, if actual money is made, pounds or dollars or euros, or Bitcoin, somebody has to get burned, don't they?
Yeah, somebody's paying, right? Exactly.
Yeah, somebody has to pay.
Yeah.
So the question is where on the curve are the people who are going to have to pay for this?
Yeah.
And the including the donation to charity.
Yeah.
Because I think, I'm not sure, you know, because money gets fairly confusing, doesn't it?
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I was about to say you can't just conjure it up, but of course you can.
Yeah, it depends on who you are.
Yeah, exactly. But in a scheme that's not controlled by government, when it turns back into fiat currency, then the fiat currency has to have come from somewhere.
And that's what I actually don't understand about crypto, right? Because I don't get it, and I'm open to say that I don't understand, because you got the gateway into crypto, right? The fiat gateway through Binance. Let's say you put your pounds in or your dollars in, you buy one Bitcoin, one, let's say BNB for this example, right? But then that one BNB can become so many things, right? And then that money keeps going up. So the money isn't a direct.
Well, that one you can understand, can't you? Because I think because the say you bought into Bitcoin at £500, cash out at 50,000. The value in between has been everybody else who's bought it.
Yeah, totally.
And they stay on the assumption that it's going to continue past the 50,000 mark.
Yeah.
Now, in this case, is that the same? Could be the same.
It makes sense that you put your money in, it's worth something else, you put it back into BNB, you buy another one. It kind of like, that makes sense. But then somewhere along the line, new things are created, right? And then some of those coins are created at a point that no one had to buy them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's the bit that I'm muddled with. If anyone can help me with that, please explain. But it kind of seems like,
I can help on that. Well,
just on that point, when you put the money into one of these directly from fiat, right? Where does that fiat go?
So
it still exists, right? Still.
Where does it go?
You double your money, no?
Like if you, somebody doubles their money.
Yeah.
Because the fiat exists and if I pay £100 into Binance,
yeah,
Binance has that £100 and they owe me £100.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Yeah, yeah.
They can denominate their debt to me, or I can denominate their debt to me in Bitcoin or in dollars or whatever I want to denominate it in.
Yeah.
And,
it makes sense. It does make sense on like a very straightforward plane, right? But then when you add everything else in,
about one person.
yeah. I think we've been talking for a long time, so let's not get into that. But yeah. So we've covered Safemoon.
Absolutely. I think something before our next conversation, I'm going to, like, when people talk about bubbles, they always talk about the tulip mania.
Yeah.
I'm going to check that out because I use that term as well, but I don't really. I know it's something that happened, I think, in the 17th century.
Yeah,
where tulips or tulip bulbs were cryptocurrency of their day. They had no inherent value, but they.
I think that the tulips are these. I don't think that the tulips are Bitcoin.
Oh no, absolutely. I agree.
And that's one of the things on that note. Just before we end, is this could have been the reason for the crash in 2017. Now, I'm not saying it is, but at that point, we were seeing hundreds of new coins flooding the market, right? And it just creates this frenzy. And when there's a frenzy of people who don't know what they're buying, not taking profits, not understanding anything that goes behind it, apart from seeing numbers go up, you see if the whole market cap 10x's in a space of, for example, 1 week, right? And then a little bit, because everyone who got in at this already, 5x point, it gets to the 10x and then it starts to crumble. These guys are like, hell no, I'm getting out of this now. And then you see a free fall, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And these coins are causing it's gone to $600 million market cap in 2 weeks. The Safemoon. And that's the kind of hype, which is amazing. Where we are right now, you can make loads of money, but it could be the beginning of the end. That's.
But I think what's great is that it's for the people who are going to get burned. That's one thing, but what we've got now, which we didn't have in 2017, or I think didn't even have until this year, is really this concept of clearly defined hype coins versus what now seem like good old-fashioned solid currency, like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that. You've got the slightly wacky stuff like pounds and dollars.
Who wants that? I guess at this stage it's penny stocks. These, the Googles of the world.
And I think that tulip concept is worth because I think the reason the tulip mania, even though I don't know anything about it, I suspect one of the reasons it could be interesting in this context is because the investors in tulip bulbs, just like the investors here in hype stocks, there's no illusion here. We know these things aren't worth anything.
Yeah.
And yet it happened. Whereas when you have a crazy run on a stock of a real project, it can be because people believe, these guys really have invented perpetual motion or whatever it is. Whereas nobody's protected here, are they? These things aren't.
I think that's just the most important thing here. Is just understanding that there is money to be made, but there's money to be lost, you know, and then
exactly.
I think that's it. I think that's it really. Because there's a lot of people in the crypto world that like, what would you call them? Like crypto, I mean, it's only been around a bit, but like enthusiasts, but like real crypto enthusiasts who are very much against these coins, right? Because I saw a recent thing about basically this is what the problem with crypto is you have all these random coins. They don't make any sense. They go up and down like crazy. And that's what the people, because there's probably still 95% of the world doesn't even have any clue about it, or more, probably more than that. And that's the reason, because these are the stories. There was a business that started and then 2 weeks later it was worth $600 million. So they hear that and then they're like, I'm not getting involved in this. It's too ridiculous. So I do see that, but I also see this is what, you know, this is as long as people get into this with the idea to learn and to understand and to not be greedy, you will have a stepping stone from this into, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum and learning, you know, the ins and outs of it. And I think that's the problem. They think people are going to come in, get burnt, leave. And then I'm taking it upon myself. I'm putting my cape on and I'm going to try and get people to get in, maybe get a little bit burnt, maybe make a lot of money, and then you know, stick with it and understand it.
Play with relatively small amounts so they can, or at least small to them, whatever.
That's exactly. People ask me often, like, how much should I be investing? Like, what's a good amount of money to invest in X coin? And a good amount of money to invest in one of these hype coins is a small amount of money relative to the amount of money that you have. So, you know, if you have $1,000 in, if you have $1,000 in the bank, you only invest, you know, $5, and that's fine. You know, and that's $5 times 20 is whatever it is. Can't think of it in my head. $100.
It's more than.
It's a lot more than 5. But yeah, like, and that's the thing that, you know, that's the most important thing. A small amount of money relative to you. And then again, and then the higher up in the level of stability, let's call it, the more amount of money relative to yourself you can invest. It doesn't matter how much, it's the percent. It doesn't matter how much you can, you know, you put in, because that amount of money over a long period of time can turn into so much, as we've seen in the past year, right? Like an incredible amount of money.
I think it would be a service to the you know, the people who watch your channel, but also to the community to kind of make that sharp distinction between crypto, because these things hype. It's not really crypto, is it? They're piggybacking off crypto, but they're not crypto.
The thing that makes crypto, it's not like the safety behind the fact that this runs on crypto doesn't really make any difference. Like, that's not the point. Making money is the point.
Yeah, exactly. And I think emphasizing that would be helpful, because I think I kind of go along with the crypto enthusiasts in the sense that, you know, the blockchain fundamentally has something really important to give the world. And it's the best thing that we have. Yeah, exactly.
Society, right? That doesn't have to, you know, people, because we can't.
I think I would go along with. I see the point of enthusiasts who get annoyed about something like Safemoon bringing blockchain into disrepute. Not really bringing cryptocurrency into disrepute, because cryptocurrency is just an application. It's a brilliant application of block.
Kind of muddying the waters, right, as to what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, exactly.
I think just totally. You have that separate mindset. They're different things, right? Proper investment, stocks and shares and houses and all of that stuff on one side. Then you've got your cryptocurrencies that have a purpose, and then you've got your cryptocurrencies that purpose are to make us money, right? And to donate to charity in this side.
That's well put. I agree. That's
right,
a really good.
I think on that note, we've probably been talking for way longer than we expected. So,
great conversation.
You want to plug anything in case anyone's made it this far?
No, I've forgotten who I am at this stage.
You're going to make it home, all right?
You know how it gets past a certain age. Next time, I'll write down an answer to that question. So, oh God, yeah. If you ask me to plug something, I better have something in mind. I can't think of stuff instantly anymore.
I'm not sure how you've done it, but you seem to have made it to the end of this video. Now, hopefully we did provide you with a little bit of information and a little bit of value, or else I guess you wouldn't have made it this far, but we do really appreciate each and every one of you. Please let us know down in the comment section what topics you would like us to cover in the next one, and we will be happy to get back to each and every one of you. And with all of that said, if we did provide you with a little bit of value, do consider smashing that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video.